I'm back from vacation, and here we go again. What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here for Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC, welcoming you to another episode of Good Times Newsline Flashcast. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We are here back in Studio B right after our cool vacation. We're back in action. I'm ready to do some cool things. Had some things on the docket to start recording. I might do that later on tonight. Start recording some stuff and put that out later. But today, there's breaking news. There is some news that we got to talk about. And what is it? It's Evercade. It's an Evercade news update. And this one hit me a little bit. It was a little weird. So let's go and talk about this. We got an email from Evercade, and the Evercade newsletter is here. That's pretty cool. We're talking about the Taito Arcade 1 and Arcade 2 collections that you can pre-order now. And for whatever reason, even though it was, I don't know, it's the vacation. The vacation got me. I was like, wait a minute. It's Taito 1 and 2 time. Oh, middle of the month. I don't know, whatever. So I got to go pre-order these, not knowing that I already did because these are the ones that went live at the end of this past month. So it was interesting. It was an interesting experience going to Funstock and then finding out that I already pre-ordered it. But that's not necessarily where the news is. We'll go down a little bit more. Got a new highlight of the month, which we'll be talking about in future videos, because this also will coincide with the new Evercade update, which do an update video, and then I'll probably tie that into the Fun for Five for the highlight of the month, which is Truxton. As a good pick off of the Total Plan Arcade 1 cart. It also coincides with Total Plan's 40th anniversary for the company. So that's pretty cool. You know, it's Truxton is a great game. So if you guys don't have the Total Plan collection, don't know what shooters, like real like seminal arcade shooters are, that's a great one to check out. And I would just say automatic recommend. I mean, if you can get Total Plan Arcade in your hands, that's probably like easily one of the top 5 carts you could probably get as just a general Evercade fan. And I'm sure a lot of you would agree with that sentiment, at least in top 10. Then there was a cool thing. Katie coming out. There's Katie right there saying happy anniversary to Tanglewood. 14th of August marks the anniversary date of the original release of Tanglewood. And Tanglewood, of course, is one of the 2 games released on their 11th cartridge, which is the Tanglewood Xeno Crisis cartridge, or Xeno Crisis Tanglewood, and whatever you want to say that. And it was one of the first dual indie cart showcases. Tanglewood is well liked due to this atmospheric visuals and sound and the puzzle platformer gameplay. It's kind of cool that they're like shouting out like some stuff for indie games. Maybe they'll do one for Full Void a couple of years from now, and when it gets to its 5th year anniversary or something like that. I guess it's also their way of like kind of like head nodding, saying, "Hey, we didn't forget about indies." So maybe there's a clue in there, maybe. And then of course it's like where to buy Evercade and where to buy in the US. It's cool that they're listing Amazon everywhere and Funstock in the UK. It's also for US too, guys. By the way, we're gonna get to that in a second. US Castlevania Games and Amazon VGP is back, and Spain is a good game, and then Funstock in Germany, France, FNAC. And then it's just basically if you can go to Amazon. I still don't trust Amazon though as a consumer, to be honest. Until they get some real good stuff going on, I'm not sure about those guys over on the Zons. Although Zon is great for getting a lot of stuff, not so much on the Evercade side from the looks of things. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this thing that I saw when I went to Funstock to pre-order the cartridges that I already pre-ordered. I was looking at this page right here. It says USA customers, new August update for shipping and tariffs. Please read. And then I got real confused. I was like, oh, wait, is there a new bundle? And it's like, oh, there's some new bundles you can choose and all that stuff. I'm like, this all looks familiar. And then I went to my cart and found out that I had already pre-ordered Taito Arcade 1 and 2. And I was like, all right, fine. So let's please read the shipping policy update on the website. Let's do that, shall we? So I clicked on the link. And what do we see? We see, here we go again. That's right. The U.S. customers are getting another tariff update from Funstock. And this is the update. The shipping policy update is for August 2025. Important update below for all U.S. orders. Due to the recent tariff updates, orders may now incur an import duty of 30% of the order value from all orders entering the country after August 29th. This fee is collected by your local postal service at the time of delivery, not by Funstock. Please note all duties, taxes, customs, and custom fees are the customer's responsibility and are not included in the checkout total. These must be paid separately upon delivery. Now, of course, this is the seesaw and the wild ride that we've been on as customers here in the United States, from all of the negotiations with all of the different world leaders and this and that and up, down, left, right, and center. So instead of 10%, now it's 30%. I think, I don't know. I didn't even read anything about global news, whether or not there was an update on this or not. But another email came through from Funstock directly to explain a little bit more. So we're going to go to that update as well and take a look at that, read that one as we go through here. So here's the notice for existing pre-orders and update on U.S. tariffs and import duties from Funstock. This is Funstock Direct, and this was delivered to me in my inbox in the afternoon, early afternoon, 12 p.m. EST, 12:30, 1 o'clock, something like that. Just saw it after lunch. Notice on existing pre-orders and update, and it says we're ready to update you about your existing order with Funstock. This must be the Taito update because I had already pre-ordered the Taito collections. Due to the recent changes and the suspension of the de minimis exemption. So I don't know what the de minimis exemption means. I'm not a economic dude, but there is a thing that was called that, and it expired for commercial shipments globally, starting August 29th. We are advising you of an update of potential charges to your pre-order. For all orders shipped to the United States, there'll be a local duty charge that will be required from your local postal service before the package can be delivered. And then it says the charges again, it's 30% of the value of the goods. Is an increase from 10% that was previously applicable. Now, again, the previously applicable 10% did not apply to not one, but two orders, one of which included hardware to me directly, and to many. Some of the GTC members have chimed in and said, hey, I never tried to do a fee. I did for the follow-up stories about this whole tale. I never had to pay the fee. Now, it doesn't mean that this time isn't going to be different, and then now we're going to have to pay the fee, or that it is going to be the same, and we won't have to. We don't know. We won't know until we know. So we're back on tariff watch, I guess. We'll see what happens when these orders come in. 30% hurts, though. It's it's not I guess amazing amount when you really think about it in the grand scheme of things. On a $40 order, you're talking, what is that? Well, on 30 it would be 10. So it's like $13, $14 extra or something like that on your order. I mean, you don't want to pay that kind of tax. You don't want to pay that kind of fee on your items, but it might be a possibility. But as we saw before, there's also not necessarily a adequate mechanism for extracting the fee from the customer. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen here. And it says, and starting August 29th, and here we are on August 13th, and you guys know what happens. 3 or 4 days later, somebody will talk to somebody, and this and that, this, that, and the third, and then another 90-day extension or something like that will happen, and there'll probably be another update. We'll keep updating you on the story, and that kind of thing. But as far as this goes, I'm just strictly talking about what Funstock is doing and the things about Evercade, because that's what's affecting us as fans and that kind of thing. So we're just going to, no speculation or anything like that, because I don't know, and nobody knows. Nobody knows until the people up top that are making the decisions make them, and then we figure it all out, right? So As per our shipping terms and conditions, all duties, taxes, and custom fees are strictly the responsibility of the customer. They're reiterating that because they're just saying, hey, just don't yell at us as Funstock, saying you already guys are going to charge me an extra 20%, blah, blah, blah. They don't get any of the money. They don't see any of the money. They don't even charge you. They just send you the stuff and then say, hey, country of origin, charge them whatever you need to charge them when it gets there. And they figure that out at the end. These charges are not included in your order total, must be paid separately to the postal service upon or before delivery. Next steps. If you are happy, then we'll continue with your order and you'll receive a notification email of any changes due once the items have been shipped from your local U.S. Postal Service. Now, that's all August 29th date. I don't know if that has anything, because remember the other date was like a cutoff, and then that was the expected date that they were going to start shipping, and then they shipped like 2 or 3 days later. I don't know if it's the case this time in this particular this particular order. I think these actually are shipping much later in September, but it's the August 29th date is whether or not the 30% is going to happen or not. I think is actually the date you guys should be looking at there. So anyway, because they said another date down here. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, you'll receive a notification of charges due once the items ship. Yep, we'll be unable to deal with queries related to those charges as they are dealt with directly between the recipient and the postal service. So again, they separated Funstock customer service. Don't go yelling at them saying, hey, what about this fee? I don't want the fee anymore, whatever. This is the notification for you saying, hey, if you don't like this, you don't want to pay the 30%, cancel your order with Funstock, and it's all good. They'll do that stuff. If you do not wish to proceed with the order, please contact us as soon as possible for any cancellation and refund requests, so that they're there for you. You're just gonna have to let them know through the support channel. And then there's the big thing. This will need to be done before the items ship. So please contact us by September 1st for any order changes. So remember that thing when I was like, hey, I don't think the August 29th date is the one that you want to know about. It's this date right here, the September 1st date. Now, it's only 3 days later, but that's when they're going to start packing them into boxes to actually ship them to you. So there's as of September 1st. September 1st ends. Nobody has more requests. September 2nd, packing these things in boxes, and they're going to start to ship. So then that means that they'll probably get packed, get labeled over the next couple days, get them all ready to go to the Royal Mail, and they'll hit Royal Mail probably the 4th, 5th, 6th, and then the sorting process will start, and then you get them mid to late September and actually in your hands. So in September, we will know about what's going on with this situation. It says if any orders are sent and returned due to non-payment of the customs charge, then an admin fee will be applied to your order and deducted from your refund. So that's another thing you guys want to make sure you guys realize this. That's a clawback, guys. Because sometimes, what'll happen is they'll charge back Funstock for the shipment of the item back to them. So because of the U.S., PS, they're just going to be like, well, we're not paying to ship it back to you, but we have to get it back to you. So they'll send an invoice along with the package back to Funstock. So they're going to have to they're going to have to eat that shipping back to them, and that an admin fee. So the fee basically is probably what it's going to cost them to get it back is going to be applied to your order. So definitely, if you got the order with Funstock and you're thinking about canceling it, do it now. Do it now. Don't wait till it gets to the postal service and then you just ignore it and then they send it back, because they're going to hit you. They're going to hit you on the refund, and that fee could be pretty. That admin fee might be substantial. So I'd recommend just making sure you get your request done before you get hit with that. But that is in there, and they're telling you right away that's a clawback. So be careful about the ordering. And if you have any questions, contact us, support@funstock.co.uk. Thank you for understanding. Continue to support. Warm regards, Funstock team. So, and that was it. That was the message. Much clearer in the email than it is on the shipping policy. This might be something they might want to do. Maybe like on Funstock, have like a little news or update thing, and then put this whole thing on the website maybe somewhere. This is good information. It's good. I mean, if I didn't check the email, for Funstock, looking for the thing that I thought was from Funstock, but was actually from Blaze or from Evercade, I wouldn't have found this. I wouldn't even bother looking. So I'm glad that I saw this though, because it had, again, tons of good information, including the information about the clawback, including the information about the fact that they're going to be shipping around September, the first week, end of the first week of September. September 1st is that Monday, if I'm not mistaken. That's a bank holiday here in the U.S. What you guys would call a bank holiday in the UK, I guess. It's Labor Day in the U.S. But so they'll probably start shipping it 4th and 5th. They're actually getting them to Royal Mail by 4th and 5th. So, like I said, guys, we don't have tons of time. It's the 13th today. So you got 2 weeks to make sure you get your stuff in order, but because you don't want to get hit with the clawback thing. And like I said, they're getting ready to ship. So, and then all this news came down. And remember, we got to say, like, the news comes down the way the news comes down. So, I mean, we're surprised as much as Funstock is, as much as probably half of retailers around the planet are about what's going on. So, it's not amazing, and 30% definitely is not amazing. But it's the number is the number. Funstock has no control over it. Blaze has no control over it. We have no control over it as fans. It's just the guys that are doing whatever the lever pulling they're doing, wherever they're doing it. I don't know. I don't know about that. All I know is I still want to get the stuff. Katie still wants to be happy, and we want to play some games. So we will continue to do that. And if it is shipped, I'm going to let it ship. I'm going to let it ship. If I get hit with the 30%, I don't know. We're going to have to find out how many times I'm going to want to get hit with the 30% before even I might have to start making some sad decisions. And that's sad because I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. I'm a day one supporter of the Evercade. And, like I said, it's not their fault. It's not Funstock's fault. It's not anyone's fault, but, in the grand scheme of the fandom, right? No one that's affiliated with Evercade has anything to do with what's going on with what's these fees and all that stuff. So there's no sense in yelling at them and getting frustrated and doing all this stuff. And, it's certainly not in my opinion, I don't know. I don't think to be yelling at them and say, hey, you guys need to eat all these fees and all that kind of stuff either. I mean, it's not fair to them. They didn't cause the situation, right? They're just reacting to the things that are happening. So, I don't know. I was just, like I said, I'm back from vacation. I want to talk about all sorts of fun stuff and, do all this other cool nonsense. Talking about cool games and that kind of thing, and play games. But yeah, I mean, it is important to talk about these things, and it is important to make sure that everyone knows about the notice for pre-orders and all that kind of stuff. So, so there we have it. I did bring that to you guys. I will continue bringing information to you guys, and if you guys, again, sound off down below. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about everything, all this other stuff, how you feel about it. And it's okay. It's okay to vent. It's okay to be, even though you want to be mad, and, you say whoever you want to be mad at. It's fine. I'll read the comments. And I'm going to try to get back to really, as we get into the housekeeping stuff of BIC. I really want to get back into, really responding and doing all this stuff with the comments. You guys are awesome. And I do appreciate every single one of you guys, and I read as many of them as I possibly can. And I got to get better at replying to you guys. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to get through that. But until then, what we have to do is we have to talk a little bit about the people that make this channel go, and they are the members of the Good Times Club. So let's do that right now. Let's thank the members. They are the EverCanadian, Crimson Cross, George Games, Chris Westerman, Fan and Fiction, Lloyd R. Jim, Papa Pete, the Intellivision Gamer, Ken LaCure, Mr. Shua, John Willig, Gunsy20, Herb Wars, DF, Joe Whitlash, David Valdez, Dan Nastic, Dr. Mark Bent, Scientist, and the Atari Creep, and Immortal Soldier. Thank you guys all so much for being awesome, for being members, for being the glue that sticks StreamYard and its 1080p glory to Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Ed's channel, The Evercade Effect, and the Evercast, and Calling All Retro Gamers, which will continue to have new content at some point. But I did miss the elbow coming off the top rope. I did. I avoided it, which was good. So, we'll get you some more stuff then. But again, thank you guys for your support. If you guys want to be a member, that you're not members, you hit the join button. Come on in, you get some cool, fun stuff. As DF was saying, he was looking for some more fun times from the club. More fun times is coming, sir. I did see that comment, and we will be, doing all sorts of awesome stuff. You get this project that I'm working on in the background, guys. I cannot wait. Just look at the face. Look how happy. It's gonna be silly, but very fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But some more stuff will be coming soon. And yeah. So with all that being said, leave likes, leave dislikes, leave comments for sure. Hit the subscribe button, the bell for notifications, and until next time, we will catch you next time. For some good times, I'm Rich, and we will see you later. Take it easy, guys, and we'll be back with more on this Funstock stuff. See ya.
rtfc.baconicecream.com